Hey everybody, it's been over a year since I've made a video. Well over a year. And what a year it's been. I've gotten divorced, I've gotten married, I've moved, got a baby on the way. What a year. And I could sit here and beat myself up for not posting more videos, but that's not going to do me any good. Because last time I checked, I'm still just a branch and God is the vine, and it's not my responsibility to produce fruit, it's just my responsibility to bear it. And speaking of bearing fruit, I have a story. I came home from work and I've been here for a day or two, and I hugged my 8-year-old son. And I just hugged him and loved on him, and I was just very grateful to God for him, and proud of him and who he is. And I told him that. I told him how grateful I was for him and how proud I was of him. And the craziest thing happened after that, which I did not expect. After I told him how proud of him I am and how grateful I am for him, and that he's part of my family, and that he's just such a cool little dude. And he said, well, I appreciate that, and you should be proud of yourself. I said, why? He said, well, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have an amazing stepmom. And we wouldn't, and she wouldn't have been able to change, and you wouldn't have been able to change, and our family wouldn't have been able to change, and we wouldn't have all the things we have, and the relationships and stuff like that. I'm like, where is this coming from? Because my immediate reaction whenever he said I should be proud of myself, I'm like, no, I'm not going to be proud of myself. And he just kept talking about how I should be proud of myself and how he's proud of me, and that meant a lot to me. And that's when I thought about it. I do have pride in what me and Jesus do. It's not just me alone. And I told him that. I said, well, son, the only reason why I love you well at all, the only reason why I love him well at all is because I've had such a great dad and God and father who's expressed his love to me, that I could just express it back to them. Because in that moment, whenever I told him how grateful I was for him, I was grateful to God. And that outpouring of gratefulness is how that whole transaction how that whole transaction even happened. Interaction. The only reason why any of that happened is because I was grateful to God for what I had and my family. And then my son was grateful. And it all just stems from Jesus and how good the gospel is and how awesome what God has done is. And this is just me bragging or patting myself on the back. This is just a really cool example of what God can do and how he can break chains that last generations. Because I know I'm not perfect and I haven't behaved perfectly, and I'm not going to. But there's grace for that, and there's love, and that I can see the fruit of what Jesus has done in my life and how it's affected my family and the people around me. And what more could I ask for? What more could I want but to love well? And I just think that's super cool, because that's all we're called to do. You don't have to go knocking on doors and breaking down doors and harassing people. But we're made for good works that he set up beforehand for us to walk into. This isn't a high pressure stakes thing. This is just you being you. Because only you can reach the people around you. And only you, with all your quirks and weird stuff that you have, because trust me, I know, I have the same stuff. But only you can reach the people that you can reach with Jesus. Because there's only one you. And Christ in you, expressed no matter how goofy and silly it may be. Because trust me, I don't think that I'm good at making videos. And I'm not a big fan of making videos. But I have had plenty of people tell me how grateful they were and how much they enjoyed a video that I've made. And I sit there and I think, well, I'm just a dude putting a video on the internet. But Jesus in me, Christ in me, and him expressed is where the power comes from. It's not about you or me or anybody being impressive. It's about expressing Jesus in a way that only you could express Jesus. And it's just a really cool thing. And all this video is just me wanting to share with you all how grateful I am. And that's really all there is to it. Nobody's signing up for Christianity because we get to do rules and listen to music on Sundays and thinking that we have to bend over backwards to follow some sort of regulation. Nobody's signing up for that. You know? It's not that complicated. None of it's that complicated. If your Christian life looks a lot more complicated than wow and thank you God, then it might be something else. But wow and thank you is all you need. Because sometimes that's all you got. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope that made some sort of sense. And just be exactly who you are, because that's exactly who God made you to be. Y'all have a great day.